大家好，在第10课我们要讨论运动装备和服装。我们的第一个生词是拍，拍；第二，网球拍；第三，运动服；第四，棒；第五，我们的新的语法点 verb 加遮加 verb。拍 here is a noun. That means racket. There are other meanings of pai, but here it means a racket, as in a 网球拍, a tennis racket. I can talk about other things. For example, I can talk about a 乒乓球拍, a ping pong racket. Or a 羽毛球拍, a badminton racket. So you can use this word pai for a number of different kinds of rackets. 网球拍 is a tennis racket. 我们可以说打网球得买网球拍，贵极了。To play tennis, you need to buy a tennis racket. Wow, super expensive. 除了买网球拍以外，也可以买运动服。运动服 which is basically sportswear or athletic clothing. It's a little bit different from team clothing, right? If I was going to say team clothing, that would be a different word. But 运动服 kind of describes athletic clothing in general. 还穿特别的运动服 also to wear special kinds of sportswear. 我们的第四个生词是棒。棒 this is actually the same 棒 as in 棒球, which means stick. Here it means just, this is an expression that means, well, that's really great or fantastic. 太棒了，太棒了. You hear this actually spoken in conversations all the time. 很棒，很棒。我们看一下一个例句，别担心，他们的身体都很棒。Don't worry, their bodies are really fantastic and super. They're really healthy. 好，我们今天的语法是 verb 加遮加 verb. This particle is pronounced 遮. It's a fairly important structural particle. We'll see it more and more as we go on in Chinese. What does it mean? Well, 遮 signifies the continuation of an action or a state. When you use it between two verbs, the first verb, verb 1, signifies the sort of accompanying action, or the action that the secondary action, while the verb 2 that follows 遮 signifies the most important action. Let's look at some examples. Well, what is 遮? 遮 is a particle which signifies the continuation of an action or a state. Well, what does that mean? It means that when you use it between two verbs, verb 1 and verb 2, the first verb, verb 1, signifies the accompanying action, while the second verb signifies the main action. Another way to put this is that the first verb describes the state of something that's happening, while the second verb describes the main action that's happening in that state. It's a little bit like how we use the ing conjugation in English. For example, he's holding the ball while running. In this case, 遮 might be translated as while. He's holding the ball while running. Running is the main action, which is the second verb, while the first verb describes the state of how is he running. He's holding the ball as he runs. So The verb 1 plus 这 plus verb 2 structure operates in a somewhat similar way. Let's look at some examples. 老师站着教课，学生坐着听课。The teacher is standing while teaching class. The students are sitting while listening to class. So, 站 is the first verb 1, which describes the state that the teacher is in. While, 这 教 is verb 2, which describes the main action that the teacher is doing, which is teaching, and class is a verb object. 我喜欢躺着听音乐. I like to lie down while listening to music. Or perhaps while lying down, I like to listen to music. 美式足球可以抱着球跑. In American football, you can 抱 hold while running with the ball. 可以抱着球跑，抱着球跑。球 here is an object. And 跑 is verb 2, 抱 is verb 1. There is somewhat of a overlap between the way we use 这 and how we use 在, indicate an ongoing action. But 这 is used specifically often in this structure, the verb 1 plus 这 plus verb 2, to indicate a verb in a continuing action or a state. To recap, holding the ball while running is 抱着跑. I can say 抱着球跑, which isn't equivalent. I'm just adding an object in there. And 躺着听音乐 is translated as listening to music while lying down. Really, I'm lying down while I'm listening to music. 好，这是我们今天的生词和语法。感谢收听。